Turning our attention to another story now, the poster of a documentary film Kaali by filmmaker Leena Moneymaker is stoking a controversy. It shows a woman dressed like a goddess smoking. Many have taken to social media demanding her arrest, saying that it hurts the sentiments of the Hindus. The filmmaker has in fact taken up this overseas project, and in the first reaction to that controversy, the director has tweeted in response to a BBC News Tamil question saying, "I have nothing to lose. I want to be with a voice that speaks without fear of anything until it is." Right, let me now go across to our guests. I'm being joined by Tehseen Purawala, who's a political analyst. We'll be joined by more guests in a bit. But Tehseen, coming first to you, do you think that there is a very thin line between artistic freedom and what now seems to be the case, increasingly of sentiments, religious sentiments being hurt? Do you think that artists need to be aware of that, keep that in mind, even while they exercise their artistic freedom?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. And it's a slightly nuanced answer that I want to give. Yes, art, movies, books should not be censored. News channels should not be censored. And you have a choice. You don't like a piece of art, you don't like a book, a movie, a news channel. Don't watch it, read it, change the channel. However, what is important is to check the intention from where the artist comes. Is the intention only to gain cheap publicity, social media traction? Is the intention to convey or make a change in society, or to get personal attention? I think that is a very important line that needs to be distinguished. Second thing, when it comes to art, while I agree there should not be censorship on art, that should apply everywhere. It can't be that a religion art will not be censored, but listen, for somebody else from another religion or another background, we will not allow art or movies to be made. Then that must be uniform across the board, more like France, where everything is allowed. So that is the call India must take, debate and come to a solution on.
Tehseen, stay on with us. Deepa Rahul Ishwar is also joining us. She's an author and social activist. Deepa, in this case, do you think that a line has been crossed? Is that what your perception is? And then in that case, what would you ask for?
Well, Maha, I would first of all take a vow in this debate right now that I'm not going to take the name of this lady, because that's exactly what she wants. She must be really happy because the film is getting all the publicity that she's wanted. So I do not want to take her name here. Secondly, I'd like to say this poster that she's released, which she's, so-called creativity oozes out of that poster. I would like to say that this poster is, there is absolutely no creativity on it. This poster screams just provocation and nothing else. There is no creativity in that poster at all. Now, this is wrong at so many levels. First, she is a Hindu herself. Second, she comes from the Tamil background, the Tamil community. The Tamil community is they're known to be so religious and so, they have such innocent devotion towards the religion. They're so fiercely protective about what they think is theirs, including their language. And it's so agitating and irritating and frustrating that someone from that community could do this. Above all of this, it is so wrong at the level that she is a woman herself, and this is absolutely demeaning a woman. If you look at this, I would dare this particular woman who claims that she is a filmmaker of creativity and a voice that talks without fear. I would dare her to go and do this with my brothers and sisters of the other communities. I would be as hurt as I am today if this happens to any other community. But at the same time, I dare her to do this because I'm sure she's going to lose that dare pathetically. She will not have the guts to do it with anybody else. And that's where I feel it is so unfair at so many levels for a Hindu. I'm so emotional, I'm so sad, I'm totally irritated, and I demand that there are cases filed against her. The police registers cases against her under IPC 153 and 295A, which is deliberately provoking religious, provoking the religious sentiments, regarding religious sentiments. That is what I want for her.
All right. Deepa, I'll interrupt you there. We have other guests as well. I understand what you're trying to express over here, but I want to bring in Brinda Adige, social activist here as well. Brinda Adige, we just heard Deepa Rahul Ishwar saying that that her sentiments and the sentiments of many Hindus have been hurt because of this poster of this documentary Kaali. Some might argue on the other side, and if I can play the devil's advocate here, is that artists are meant to provoke. Artists are meant to bring about ideas that provoke conversation, thought. And if artists, withdraw from that sort of a sphere which seems dangerous, then what happens to conversation, dialogue? What would you say about that?
I'm in complete agreement with you. If the artist wants to provoke dialogue, conversations, debate, to widen horizons of our understanding and perceptions. But why be selective with a god or a goddess of a particular community? Okay. You want to have this dialogue with a large number of people from all walks of life, who follow all kinds of religions. So why don't you have a similar poster with your Prophet Muhammad, as well as with Mother Mary and Jesus Christ and all the other religions that might have similar icons that they are worshipping or adoring? Why wouldn't you want to have that? Why only show one particular goddess to smoking and with the LGBTQ flag? I'm both for smoking and for the LGBT. Women, other genders, whatever they want to do, it is their personal choice. But you do not want to hurt the sentiments of people by putting this only of a particular community's goddess, because it is depiction of a Hindu goddess. And this Hindu goddess does not certainly go into the Muslim arena or into the Christian arena or into the Buddhist arena. You are looking at a selective portrayal, and that is unacceptable. Okay. Whether you are a Hindu or not a Hindu is not acceptable. Is not the question.
Okay. Dilip Cherian, founder and consulting partner, Perfect Relations, is also joining us here on the show. Dilip Cherian, then where do we draw the line between artistic freedom, creativity and, sentiments?
I think that Tehseen drew a very interesting line, and I tend to take that seriously. Having been on the film censor board for 2 terms, I've seen films come and go. There are 3 issues here. 1, the filmmaker is not based in India and is exhibiting elsewhere. So, in a sense, do we have control? No, we don't. Second, the person who's made it, Leena, is she really got a track record of doing films which cross the line in terms of artistic expression? And third, if it has been done purely for creating a sensation on social media, then we need to damn it with not giving it any attention. That would be the best kind of punishment if indeed that is the purpose. I think that sensitive portrayal is important, but I also think, and last week they just unveiled in Poland, in the sanctuary of a church, a painting which depicts the crucifixion in a bizarre kind of manner. Now, I'm not saying that that's right either, but I think that artists have a way of bending people's consciousness. Should it be done with sensitivity? Then what is the freedom of art? But I think that at this point in time, we as a country and as a nation are going through this extreme angst of being under attack, being under threat. We are not. I want to reassure everybody that there is no threat because some artist somewhere has done some portrayal. It is not going to affect the astha of millions of Indians. So as long as our belief systems are strong, as long as our cultural values are rooted in what we believe in, these are mere pimples and they should be dismissed and not treated as major national points of conflagration.
All right. Let me bring in Kasturi Shankar as well, actor and activist. Kasturi Shankar, I understand that you also believe that this is nothing more than, an attempt to attract eyeballs. Why do you say that, and why do you believe that?
Coming from Tamil Nadu, and being from the film industry as well, I know Leena Manimekle, not personally, but she is somebody who has presented radical views in the past also, and she's been a rabble-rouser in the past as well. Her pattern is to shock the public with something or the other, and one is more idiotic than the other. Usually that's how the progression has been going. In this case, let me first iterate that Hinduism is a very tolerant religion. We have gods in Tamil Nadu, we have gods in Telugu land, goddesses in fact, to whom we offer cheroots, we offer alcohol, we offer meat. These are offerings to our goddesses, and I'm a part of that proud tradition. So we have inclusive gods, even in West Bengal and even in Assam. Kamakya Devi gets all these offerings of toddy and fresh meat and stuff. So that's not the issue. Pride flag doesn't have to be held by Kaali, because we have had the sons born of two male gods in our cultural, in our mythology.
Okay.
So our Hindu religion, by dint of being so ancient and has evolved so much, it is the most inclusive, most tolerant religion or philosophy or way of life, if you will.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you should use it as a tool for your cheap gimmickry.
All right. So clearly the panel here believes that a balance needs to be struck between artistic freedom and also respecting religious sentiments.
Freedom, madam.
All right.
This is not artistic freedom.
Kasturi Shankar, we'll have to leave it at that. I'm afraid we've run out of time. Many thanks to all five of you for joining us here on this discussion.